Hi everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Christy Rich and welcome to Spiritual Conversations. Thank you so much for joining us live today. And if you are watching live, go ahead and type in the comments below so that we know that you are here live, and let us know where you're watching from. So for those of you who are not familiar with me, my name is Christy Rich. I am the founder of the Dancing Curtain, located here in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and I do this spiritual conversation series. So now I'm bringing on my guests live, and I'm very excited to bring on Deana Paqua. And we were just commenting before that, don't we have fabulous hair? Healers,
like
unite.
to work the hair, that's for sure.
Yes, yes. So again, I am a Reiki practitioner. For those who are not familiar with me, I also do shamanic healing. I am also a spiritual teacher and a coach. My mission in life is to spread joy, to empower women, and to encourage everyone to live a life beyond their wildest dreams. So thank you for being here, Deana, and I'm going to go ahead.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. It's an honor. We have so much in common, so I'm very much looking forward to this conversation.
Me too.
Okay, great. So I'm going to go ahead and read Deana's bio to make sure everyone is familiar with her. So Deana Paqua is a teacher of spiritual and holistic health, shamanic practitioner and teacher, and Reiki master teacher. Deana is also an adjunct professor at Western Connecticut State University in Danbury, Connecticut, in mind-body, cross-cultural, and shamanic healing. She supports healers, spiritual seekers, and the energy sensitive in transforming trauma into triumph, experiencing deep healing and self-empowerment with a stronger connection to Spirit and Mother Earth. Deana provides healing sessions, healing circles, and a variety of workshops and classes in Connecticut and in New York, specializing in shamanic healing, shamanic training, Andean energy medicine, Reiki, intuitive readings, and holistic health education. All right.
It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. So much to talk about today. I'm so excited. So welcome again. And again, this is Spiritual Conversations, so we're going to have a lovely spiritual conversation. If anyone has a question at any time, go ahead and type in the comments below, and we will get to them when we can. Okay, wonderful. So first of all, Deana, I would love for you to share your personal story. So how did you become a spiritual teacher? How did you get involved in energy work and Reiki and shamanism, Andean healing energy, medicine? You want to take us back and show us how you got here? Okay, great.
So as a young person, I really had no idea what I was going to be doing, you know, career-wise as an adult. I was always artistic and creative. I loved to write.
Yes.
So I studied, you know, writing and art in college. That's really, you know, a big passion of mine as well.
Mine too.
I never thought about going into healthcare or holistic health or spiritual healing or shamanism. I didn't even really think about those things until my own health crises kind of cropped up.
What happened?
So I was a senior in college when I came down with melanoma, which is a malignant form of skin cancer.
Oh, wow.
So that was scary. You know, that can be... It can be deadly.
Deadly,
so
yes.
It was kind of one of those things you don't want to have.
No, we don't want to die. We don't want to die.
Don't want to die, especially, you know, in your young 20s.
Yes,
So that kind of freaked me out a little bit when I thought, you know, facing death like that for the first time.
Yes.
Thankfully, I had an amazing surgeon and everything worked out well, but it still kind of stayed with me, that fear that, you know, our mortality.
Yes.
And I developed this anxiety disorder, kind of a form of OCD, though it was never really formally diagnosed as OCD.
Oh, okay.
But I just kept going to get tests for, you know, things like cancer and AIDS, and I was constantly worried that I was going to get some kind of deadly disease.
Oh.
I couldn't fully trust that I was going to be okay.
Okay.
So it was really stressful.
Yes.
And in the meantime, I had a very successful corporate job in graphic design and art direction for a human services company, which was wonderful. But so I was living like these two lives. Like professionally, I was doing very well, but personally, I was really struggling.
Yes.
So I went the conventional route, saw psychologists, psychiatrists. I even went on medication, and it didn't help. So I was like struggling and struggling. I even went through like this dark night of the soul.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time, I was raised Catholic, and I was always very spiritual, and I was always open to other cultures. You know, we traveled a lot when I was a kid.
Me too.
So I was very open to other cultures and their beliefs and spirituality. I started studying yoga when I was, you know, in my mid-20s. So, you know, I was open-minded, and especially when you kind of reach a brick wall in your healing, it kind of pushes
You're open-minded.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Maybe there's something else out there.
Everything. Yes, yes, absolutely.
So that kind of pushed me to get more involved in yoga, naturopathic medicine, anything that would help me manage this struggle. And I even was, you know, praying. I even, you know, took out my rosary beads and started praying those, and had this really profound sort of supernatural connection with Mother Mary.
Oh.
And I felt like that was kind of a first sort of shamanic
So
connection.
what happened? Did you see a vision of her, or was it a dream? Or?
I felt her. I was praying the rosary, and I was very interested in kind of the Catholic mystics like Padre Pio and St. Francis and St. Teresa, and the visionaries that were in Medjugorje that could see Mother Mary. So I was always interested in this mystical connection with spirit.
Yes, me too.
So I was praying my rosary beads, asking for help. I was really desperate. I was really depressed. And the metal on the chain link of the rosary beads had changed from silver to gold right in front of my eyes.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
It was a pretty obvious sign, like you couldn't miss it.
Yes.
And I even ran down and showed my mom, like, can you believe this?
Yeah, because she would remember how they used to be.
Yeah, because they were her mothers. They were my grandmothers.
Oh, wow.
And I had two sets. One had white beads, one had blue, and they were the same. They were from, they were from Italy, and
wow.
So the blue ones, which I had prayed with, were now gold link.
Wow.
And the other ones were silver. So it was really...
So how did that transform you? How did you go from there?
Well, I felt like I had someone watching my back.
Yes.
You know, I had this, you know, beautiful connection with Mother Mary, that I had someone watching over me, that no matter how hard things got, that I had this support.
Wonderful.
So that was like in my mid-20s, and then at the age of 30, I was in a near-fatal car accident.
Oh, no. Wow.
And that was like my big catalyst to change my life.
Yes. So were you injured from the car crash?
Yeah.
Yes.
I had... So I was hit head-on at 85 miles an hour.
Wow. Wow.
Which not many people survive accidents like that.
That's a miracle.
So
that's another miracle.
It's a miracle.
Wow.
My tattoo, actually, is a miracle.
Miracle. That's beautiful. That's nice.
Because I never forget every single day.
Wow.
I believe is a miracle.
Oh my goodness.
And that I'm here.
That's amazing that you survived. So you must have gone through from near death from that to physical therapy, and tell us about the process.
So I was hit head on. I shattered both my femurs.
Wow.
I broke my rib cage and my sternum.
Wow.
And collapsed both my lungs.
Oh my goodness.
And I had a liver laceration. So
wow.
I had 3 potential fatal injuries simultaneously. Wow. And I stopped breathing in the car.
Wow.
And I knew that I didn't have any kind of medical background at the time, but I thought, gee, if I don't start to breathe, I might die.
Very good thinking. Very smart.
You know.
So you...
And I was on a back road, and I thought, well, I think it's going to take a while for the EMTs to get to me.
Oh, wow. Were you alone in the car?
I was alone in the car. My ex-husband was driving the car in front of me, so he was there, and he helped me. And I don't know if I would have made it, really, without him. So,
wow, so scary.
And, you know, other people stopped, too. I think, you know, neighbors came out. So, you know, there was activity going on. But I knew that if I didn't start breathing soon, that was going to be it.
Wow.
And I really could have just closed my eyes and gone if I wanted to. It was that close. That close.
Wow, wow.
I was, like, very close to losing consciousness.
Okay.
From the pain, from the blood loss.
Oh, yes.
All of that.
Did you start to feel that you were slipping away and starting to go above?
I started to slip away for sure.
Wow.
And I felt like I was given a choice if I wanted to stay or go. So I just said to God, all right, you know, I'm 30 years old. Haven't really helped that many people yet.
Right.
And I knew that I wasn't on my path. I knew that the corporate world was not my path.
Okay.
Even though I liked my job, I loved being creative.
You were successful.
I was successful.
Yeah.
I was good at it. I was making good money. but I knew my destiny was to help people.
You knew that.
I knew that from my, early 20s, that my destiny was to be creative and to help people.
Beautiful.
And that I wasn't really doing enough of the helping people part. So I said, all right, God, I'm not ready. I'm an only child also.
Okay.
Could not leave my parents, couldn't leave my husband at the time. So I had plenty of reasons to stay.
Good.
So I just said, all right, God, you've got to help me because I can't do this by myself. And as soon as I said that prayer, and back then I didn't really have the language of energy or anything like that, but I felt this energy come into my, like the crown of my head, and something like lifted me up, and all of a sudden I started breathing, very shallowly, but I started to breathe.
Breathing. Wow, amazing.
And I've worked with enough doctors and nurses now over the years that most of the time their jaws just drop open because they don't believe that that could have happened.
Yeah. Wow, what amazing
And it
story.
did.
It did, and here you are today. Look how healthy you are, too, and smiling, inspiring us.
And I walked in.
She did.
So that was like the first really major miracle that saved my life.
Amazing.
And then, going to the hospital, I had the most incredible doctors at Danbury Hospital.
Oh,
the most
good. Yes, doctors are fantastic.
top-notch surgeons, nurses, the best.
So did it take a long time for you to recover and get back on your feet?
Well, I was in ICU for a week. I was on life support. I was on a ventilator.
Wow.
They had to do surgery to put my legs back together. I had metal and screws and all kinds of stuff going on there. I had emergency surgery on my liver because I started to bleed out during the surgery on my legs.
Still you wanted to live. Still you had that.
I knew I was going to be okay because once that interaction with the Creator happened, I knew I was going to be okay and then everything was going to be fine.
Beautiful.
I just knew it was all going to be fine. And, I was given some scary potential things that could happen, and I just said, that's not going to happen. I got enough going on. We don't need to add like a pulmonary embolism to the situation.
Let's not. No.
So I just stayed really focused, and once I got out of ICU, I was in the hospital another week and a half, so I was out in 2.5 weeks. And luckily my parents were both retired, so I was able to go home and stay with them for a few months, and I was told that I might not be able to walk again because of the damage to my legs was so extensive.
Wow.
And I just was like, that's not an option. So
Good. So how did you get from, you may not be able to walk, or at least the doctors said so, but you believed otherwise, to then becoming a spiritual teacher and a healer? How did you make that transition?
So that was it's been many years. It's been 20 years now since the accident.
Okay.
The anniversary was just last week.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't something I thought I was going to be doing. I mean, I just was really trying to heal myself.
Yes.
And get back on my feet and go back to work.
Yeah,
so,
literally.
Yeah. Because I had a mortgage to pay, things like that.
Yes. Pay
so
those bills.
Luckily, my healing was really, really fast, and I walked within 6 weeks.
Wow.
I had to have a couple more surgeries on my legs, but I was back to work in 3.5 months.
Amazing. Good for you.
And
that's
then,
mind over matter. Don't you agree?
Well, yes, and I believed that I had support
from
from the
the
spirit
divine.
world.
Yes.
I believed it 1,000%. And I also knew that integrative medicine was what I was going to need to heal. Western medicine saved my life. They put me back together. They helped me get back on my feet. But then it was the integrative and holistic approach that really helped me heal.
Beautiful.
So I saw a chiropractor, massage therapist, nutritionist. I went to yoga.
Yes.
I did everything and anything that I could to relieve the pain.
Yes.
I wasn't going to stop until I could walk and forget that I had legs. Because we walk around with body parts forgetting that we have them because they're not in pain. But then once you're in pain, all you can think about is, oh, my arm hurts. Oh, it's my arm. Oh, my arm.
Yeah, I got an arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like everything's
you
about
don't take
that.
it for granted once you feel it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So my goal was to be able to walk without pain, to get back to where I was before. Only I didn't realize that was not really possible. But in certain ways, so much more came in. So I just started, healing myself as much as I could. And a year after the accident, I was introduced to Reiki.
Oh.
Now, I didn't know what Reiki was. I didn't know what energy healing was. But I was very open-minded, especially after going through something like that. You're like, I'll try anything.
Yes, exactly. Anything.
Don't care.
Reiki? What does that mean? I don't know. Let's try. Okay.
So anyway.
Right. So you met a Reiki master, and then you became...
Yes, so I met Beth Lees down at Total Life Care Center.
Yes.
thank you, Beth. And she was the first person to introduce me to Reiki. And then I also worked with Gigi Benanti in Norwalk.
Okay.
And Sherry Farrington, who trained me as a Reiki master.
Okay.
So within a year, I did my 3 levels of Reiki, mainly to help myself heal.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I had a really miraculous experience just from the first level. I took the class, I had no idea what to expect, and all of a sudden my palms are pulsing for 3 weeks. And I'm at work typing on the computer going, what the hell's going on with my palms?
Wow.
Because they're pulsing.
They're
and
pulsing.
I have no clue what this means.
Right. Can you describe to people who aren't familiar with energy work, what is Reiki? What does that mean? Can you explain it?
Just in a very simple...
And hi to Irene. Thanks for joining us live.
Oh, great. Yay. So Reiki, in a very simple description, is a form of energy balancing from Japan, but we believe it's based on ancient teachings, maybe from Tibet, the Eastern traditions, that really helps your body to heal itself. It helps the immune system, it helps the relaxation response, and it brings in divine or spiritual energy, and it's for the highest good of the client.
Yes, always for the best. It does no harm, and it's very relaxing, very healing.
Right, how can you go wrong?
How can you go wrong? Everybody sign up.
That's it.
And say again a little bit about the process of becoming certified. So Reiki level 1, you were saying how you went through.
Yeah, so my class with Beth, it was a full day class for the level 1. I had no idea what to expect. It was really amazing. I felt it right away. And then we learned to do treatments on ourselves, and that was really one of the motivating factors for me to take the class, was that I could then do some healing work on myself.
Yes, so Reiki is different from massage. You can actually do it on yourself and get the healing benefit.
Right, I really recommend it if anybody's interested to get trained in Reiki. At the very least, it's...
Yeah, that's how I started too. I started with Reiki.
And it's so gentle, and you can... It complements all the different types of therapies out there, whether conventional or alternative. It doesn't interfere with medications.
Yes.
It helps you heal faster.
Absolutely. After surgery.
It's wonderful.
It's fabulous.
So I had a miraculous healing from my first level of Reiki training.
Great.
Where I still had some nerve damage, in both my legs. So because both my knees had hit the dashboard, and that's how they broke, So I had some feeling loss in my feet. In both feet. So after the first class, all the feeling came back in my feet.
Amazing, amazing.
And I was like, wow.
Yes, and that's something that a lot of people don't realize is when you do the Reiki training, it's not just becoming certified, it's not just learning the 26 different hand positions, but it's healing yourself. So as a healer, you first need to heal yourself before you can heal someone else.
It never even entered my mind that I would be working with or supporting other people at that point. It was, really just to heal myself.
Yes.
And then I also had this amazing healing about 5 days after the first class, where I was doing a self-treatment. I was working on my left hip. Now, I'd already had 2 surgeries, so I wasn't surprised that stuff was going on there. It was amazing that I could feel it. Like, I could feel the energy. It was so cool.
Yes,
So I felt something deep inside my left hip, and then all of a sudden it just, like, broke apart. It must have been some kind of blockage. Now, I was having PT, deep tissue massage, chiropractic,
yoga.
Did
everything. Yes.
It wasn't like I wasn't working on this stuff.
Right.
But something really deep inside just dissolved.
Beautiful.
And I got up off my couch, and my limp was gone.
Wow. Just like that.
I had a limp on that side.
Okay. Fabulous.
And
another miracle.
Here we
Knock on wood.
So I went back to work the next day, and it was so significant that people could see the difference. Like, my coworkers were like, what happened? What did you do? And I was like, I took this class in Reiki, and I'm not really sure what, I don't even know how to explain it,
So was it at that point you're like, okay, I'm healing myself, this is great, I want to start to heal others? Or how did it happen that you're like, okay, I'm ready to help others as well?
Well, I continued with my Reiki training because it was so amazing and so profound.
Yes.
And Beth worked with me through level 2. And at the time, she wasn't training Reiki masters yet, which of course now she's been doing that for years.
Yes, yes.
So I found my friend Sherry Farrington, and she trained me as a Reiki master, and I got my Reiki master attunement initiation right before my last surgery, which was about 18 months after the accident.
Okay.
So I was still really just trying to heal myself and prepare
Yes.
for this last surgery,
Yes.
where they were going to be taking the titanium rods out of my femurs.
Okay.
So I knew it was going to be a
Major.
big surgery,
Yes.
and that I had to be careful not to refracture my femurs after the surgery. So I was like trying to do everything I could, eating really well, exercising as best I could, and doing Reiki on myself. I had, luckily, some other people send me Reiki, and Sherry attuned me to the master level.
Were you meditating at that point?
I prayed a lot.
Prayed.
That was
Prayers?
probably my form of meditation.
Okay, that's good too. Yeah.
And I worked with angel cards, connecting with my angels was
Yes.
a big thing for me. So, so I had the last surgery, and the amazing thing about that was they had to actually re-break my left leg to get the rod out.
Oh my goodness.
Because when you have some kind of foreign material in your body, it will calcify over it to protect that area. So it calcified over the rod.
Wow.
So I actually had to re-break my leg to get the rod out.
That's so
Thank
crazy.
you.
Ouch.
Yes.
Ouch.
Wonderful.
What we do for healing.
Let's break more bones.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. So how long did it take to heal from that?
Well, the amazing thing was that the night I stayed overnight in the hospital, and I only needed aspirin for pain relief.
Really?
Yep.
That's amazing.
So
Wow.
my PA came in, and he's like, I just want to let you know you only needed aspirin last night for pain. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
That's unheard of.
Not
I'm
bad.
sure they were surprised. Yeah. Wow.
And then the nurse came in to change my bandages, and those are deep incisions that go in all the way through the tissue to the bone. And I had staples to reintegrate the tissue and seal up the wounds. And it can take a while for those to heal normally, like
Sure.
a week or two or maybe more.
Yes.
The next morning, my incisions were sealed up.
Wow.
Barely any bleeding from the incisions.
Wow. You were really taken care of. Wow.
I'm telling you. So all those different things that happened with Reiki really kind of blew my mind.
Yes.
And it never left me. So even though I was, went back to work and I was working in the corporate world, I knew my destiny
Was bigger.
was to be of service and to take what I had learned, because I had learned so much from healing from the accident that I felt like I compelled to try to help people. Like I've learned so much, about how to heal myself that I wanted to help other people. So
Yes.
I just kind of opened it up to the universe, and I said, if I'm meant to do healing work, what am I supposed to do? Should I go to art therapy school to combine my art and healing, or, my destiny to do more hands-on?
Yes.
And I was really drawn to the hands-on because I feel like the human touch is just so profound.
Yes,
And nothing
it is.
replaces that.
And we don't get enough of that these days.
We don't get enough of it. And it was one of the things that was it made such a huge impact on my healing. And, was the hands-on healing through massage and Reiki and other types of energy work. So I decided to go to massage therapy school.
Oh, you did?
And
Wow.
I asked the universe for a sign. I said, if this is the right thing for me, show me a sign. So it was back in the day when we still had bookstores.
Oh,
which I think we still have a
bookstores.
few of those left.
A few, yes.
And I went up to the Barnes & Noble in Westport, and I just walked in. I walked over to the magazine section, and there was this cover of Massage Therapy Journal, and on the cover it said Massage Therapy for Trauma.
Perfect.
And I
Wow,
said,
what a sign.
There's my sign.
Wow.
So I ended up going to CCMT in Westport, which was a fabulous school. And I finished up there in the year 2002.
Okay.
And, you have to go through all the testing and work to get your license with the state of Connecticut. So I did all that. And the date, I got my letter from the state that I had passed the national exam, yay. And the letter was dated the exact date of the car accident 5 years later.
Wow. Wow.
And I thought, well, here I am.
What a story. That's
And the
amazing.
first client that I worked with as a professional massage therapist walked in, laid down on the table, and told me he had been in a head-on collision.
Wow.
5 weeks before.
Wow. You
So I
were
was like,
really guided.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an amazing story.
So that was 2002.
Wow.
Now, as far as, the shamanism part, and it wasn't really anything.
Before we get into that, I just want to ask a question.
Sure.
So, what do you feel about the term wounded healer? Are you familiar with that?
Oh, yes.
And Jung, yes. So Jung has a term called wounded healers and archetype, and it's basically the belief that we have to learn to heal ourselves before we can heal others. So what do you think about that concept? And also, do you believe that this trauma, this accident that you went through, was part of an initiation for you as a healer?
Oh, yes, I agree with all of that. In fact, I really connect with astrology quite a bit.
Me
and
too.
I have some really good friends who are amazing astrologers.
Oh,
and
yes.
Part of the astrology and your natal chart that connects with that archetype of the wounded healer is Chiron.
Oh, yes,
And
that's
Chiron
right.
is also the shaman.
Okay, fabulous.
So Chiron plays a big part in my chart, which kind of makes sense hearing my story.
Yes.
It's like learning through pain.
But you didn't know that before.
Oh, absolutely not. I had no clue. And Chiron was also the very humble teacher of great heroes.
Oh, beautiful.
So I was told by a good friend of mine who's a very gifted astrologer, Alethea Hunt.
Oh, yes.
And she did a transit chart for me, and we talked about like what the focus of my work should be. Now, this was more recently. So she was saying you're really destined to be a teacher.
Oh, yes.
Of spiritual and holistic health and shamanic healing, and because so much of my chart was focused on Chiron. So I do believe that
you are living your purpose.
Yeah, well, finally.
Yeah.
After fighting it for a little while and then getting my butt kicked pretty hard.
Yeah, ouch.
So now I try to listen to the more subtle signs before, the big initiations come.
So important to listen to our intuition.
So, I mean, I can't speak for all healers out there. Everybody has a different path.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
I do think that my path did involve a lot of lessons in personal healing, and the fact that I, hit roadblocks at times, in Western medicine, I had to pursue other avenues. And because of that, and because I had such great results and often miraculous results in certain aspects, I had no choice. Like, I feel like this was a calling. This wasn't a choice.
Absolutely, yes.
This is a calling. It's really so far beyond a job description. Like, this is what I do 24/7. Whether I have somebody, laying on my healing table or not, I am doing this work all the time, 24/7.
That's right. We have so much in common, because my story is very similar, that I went through a chronic illness, and it was so debilitating that that's how I got into healing myself and then becoming a healer. So it wasn't anything I ever chose to do or ever thought I would do, but now it's everything. It's everything that I'm about, and I want to inspire people and become more of a spiritual teacher now. So if you are being led, if that's the path you're supposed to go on, it'll guide you. But oftentimes it does seem we have to go through pain in order to heal ourselves and then help others.
Yes, I kind of feel like I call it my crash course in self-healing. Because I do feel like I learned so much in a very short amount of time.
Yes.
And I wish there was another way to do it, but, now that it's happened, I don't regret that it happened.
Absolutely. Good point. So let's go into a little bit about how you got into Andean healing energy, Munaiki, and shamanism.
Yeah. So
I know you spent some time in Peru. You want to tell us a little bit about that, how you got into that? I find that fascinating, because that's not everyone's path as a healer.
No, and it was never anything that I would have ever thought of as a young kid. Like I mentioned, this was, not something that really came to me until I had gone through all these crises and healing and initiations of my own. So I was working as a massage therapist and Reiki master, and, I had a healing practice in my own office, and then I also, worked in different doctor's offices and massage therapy centers. So I kind of, worked in a lot of different places.
Great.
Which was great, because I got to meet a lot of different people. I worked with amazing people.
Yes.
So it was wonderful.
People that really needed you.
Thank you. So, but I just kind of got this message, and it was back in 2003, that I needed to work with a shaman for my own healing. I didn't even really know what one was, how they would practice these ancient ways today. I didn't really know how that worked. It was just a message that I got, and I said, all right, well, if I'm supposed to work with a shaman,
So be it.
So be it.
Can you describe a little bit what shamanism is? I think a lot of people are confused by shamanism, even more so than Reiki.
And I was confused about it too.
So. Me too, actually.
Because it's a term now that kind of gets slapped onto so many different traditions and modalities that it's really not clear, I think, to a lot of people.
Yes.
And, you know, there's so much information out there, it can get very confusing.
Yes.
So the term shaman actually comes from the Evenk tribe in Siberia. And it's a very specific type of healing.
Yes.
A very specific type of healer. Where the medicine person or the shaman goes directly into the spirit world. They go into a trance state, many times through drumming, or maybe through dance or other rituals, depending on the specific tribe. So they go into an altered state of consciousness, and their spirit or their energy engages with the spirit world directly. And they have a very strong connection, often to one or more helping spirits, a lot of times ancestors.
Yes.
That, you know, going back, were very powerful healers, and they help the shaman do their healing work. And their work is very focused on the community. And it could just be their immediate family, or it could be a larger community, but it's community focused, not really focused on self-healing. Though they're healing by going through this process.
You're healing others. Yes.
Will heal themselves.
Heal themselves, yes.
And how they're called to this work is the spirits call them. If there are no spirits, there is no shaman. So
Very
it's
good
very,
description.
very driven by their connection to the spirits.
Yes. Okay, fabulous. So now if you want to go back into your story about how you got into shamanism.
Sure. So again, it wasn't something I ever really thought of immediately. So I felt this need to work with a shaman for myself. And one ended up showing up on the doorstep of the healing center.
On the doorstep.
About a month later.
Wow. That's a good sign.
And this person was trained in Andean energy healing. So it's really not traditional shamanism, though it gets labeled that a lot. It's more mysticism, but there is a very strong spiritual component to it. And there is an engagement with spirits and nature beings and a deep connection to Mother Earth.
Yes.
So we connected, and we started doing trades and doing journey circles together every week. And then a couple of years later, traditional healers from Peru started coming around the area, the Danbury area.
Oh, really?
Who would have thought?
Wow, I wish I was there for that.
So mainly from the Caro tribe of the high Andes, who are mystics and priests, with a very strong spiritual connection to Mother Earth, to the mountains, which they call apus, and also to angels and the Creator. You know, all of that interconnected. So, so I met them, and I was just hooked immediately, because they're very heart-centered people, very genuine, very authentic, very humble.
Yes.
There's a lot of humility in the traditional medicine people and shamans. And I also met a medicine man, a lama from Tibet, Lama Labsang.
Okay.
So he was coming to the area also. So I kind of got this immersion in indigenous healing just by opening myself up to it. I said, all right, if I'm supposed to work with traditional medicine people. And then they just kind of came, and also some North American teachers, Cherokee.
Oh, really?
I didn't get to study with them very in depth. It was just really a matter of sitting in ceremonies with them a few times. Lakota. We have a wonderful local teacher, Painted Turtle, who's from the Mohegan tribe, who I've sat with a few times, and he's wonderful. So I was just really opening myself up to that, but I really just felt called by the Andean.
Yes.
By the Caro specifically, because of how heart-centered they are.
Yes.
And because their beliefs and my beliefs really matched up. Because I really believe that the Creator, that God, source energy is within everyone and everything. In nature, in the stones, the crystals, the plants, the trees. And that we can engage with nature to heal ourselves.
Yes,
and
we can.
In addition to our guardian angels, ancestors.
Yes. So many different ways to heal. Absolutely.
So it was just, you know, that just happened. So that was 14 years ago now.
Okay.
And I've continued to study with them since then. And then I also have studied with contemporary teachers in core shamanism, which is a contemporary practice based on, like the ancient Siberian teachings. But it's a contemporary practice, and what I love about it is that you can use it for self-healing. And it's wonderful because most people can learn to journey, which is a practice that's part of core shamanism. So it's a meditation practice where you can learn to connect with your own guides and guardian angels and helping spirits for your own self-healing, getting information, guidance. So I love that because it's something that's accessible to people, that can be taught, because not all of us can travel to Siberia
or Peru
or to the Himalayas or to Peru
or deal with the altitude and the
altitude,
Andes.
Yes.
Okay, so very good point. So what advice would you give to someone, one who's going through trauma or a chronic illness and they feel very stuck, they feel like they're not getting better, they may be looking for spiritual guidance or just hope. But what advice do you give to them? And what advice do you give to somebody who's looking to become a spiritual teacher?
Okay, well, I try not to give advice.
Tips, maybe?
No.
Things to do?
I have tried telling people what to do before, and that doesn't seem to work. But yes, suggestions, education, all of that. Well, I think what you said, Christy, is important, is to never lose hope.
Yes.
That's very important, and it's very easy if you've been sick for a long time. That can be really challenging to believe
draining.
that you can get better.
Yes.
That's hard. So that's where surrendering, I think that's a really important term, and it can really be...
It's hard for people to understand that, because a lot of people are like, surrender, isn't that close to giving up? How do I surrender and have hope at the same time and believe when I just see the same thing day after day, and doctors are very negative and they say, oh, X, Y, and Z may happen.
And it can be very depressing, and I think one of the things that's important too is to really acknowledge your feelings and not to ignore
hide them
them
or push them, right?
Right, exactly. And you're allowed to get depressed, you're allowed to be sad, you're allowed to be frustrated and annoyed and pissed and whatever the things are.
But let it out.
Yeah.
Let it out. Yes.
Like really own your feelings. Find a really good holistic or spiritually open therapist. I think that can be very helpful to help you stay in a more positive frame of mind.
To have that support. Good.
And to know that a lot of times, with healing from either an acute illness or, an injury or a surgery or a chronic illness, that it may not be that there's one magic bullet.
Exactly.
In our culture, we're all about, finding the one thing that
works. And the quick fix. Everybody wants that quick fix. Yes. But on a spiritual journey, it's not normally, boom, miraculous, instantaneous.
Right.
There
so
can
looking
be miracles, but...
Right, yes. We'll take the miracles.
We'll take them anytime.
Anytime. We're
bring them
open
on.
to the miracles.
Yes.
But it's really holistic. Look at healing from a holistic perspective. Nothing replaces nutrition.
Absolutely.
What we feed ourselves.
Whole foods, real food, not processed food.
Right. Good foods that are right
from
for your
farm.
Constitution.
Yes.
Seeing a good nutritionist or naturopath or Ayurvedic practitioner can be very helpful. And then, the body work is very important, hands-on healing of some kind, whether it's something more gentle, like craniosacral therapy. Reiki, I believe could help no matter what.
Helps with everything.
Right.
Yes.
Helps with everything. So if you're looking for the one thing that can help, I would say go with Reiki, because it really is so gentle. You can learn to do it on yourself.
Yes.
You can receive the treatments via distance.
Yes, and it's great for the mind, body, and spirit. It's great to heal the aches and pains, anything, the physical body, the organs, but also your emotional body, your feelings, your spiritual life, everything.
Right.
Yes.
And to know that, what I've learned from shamanism and from the indigenous people is that really the core, the foundation of healing is really spiritual. And we tend to look at it from, the body.
Yeah, just fix the body.
Fix the body. But it's really, there's a spiritual component, a psychological component, and an emotional component. and many times an ancestral component too.
Yes, yes.
So we're carrying the weight of our, what's happened to our ancestors.
Yes.
And that affects our health.
And
so
our
there's
past lives, and our karma.
Yes. And
so much going on.
It's
so many levels.
Any of us
so
are walking around as it is.
Yes. Or smiling. No, just kidding.
Right, right. So, yeah, it's amazing what we carry. So, really be gentle with yourselves and know that, you're carrying a lot of stuff.
Yes.
From our own childhoods, ancestors, all of that, and think holistic. Think multifaceted approach. Get referrals, check people's backgrounds, look for really well-trained
do your research.
people.
Yes, but I think that's a really good point. Be gentle on yourself, especially when you're going through a chronic illness. I was sick for 15 years. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to not want to beat yourself up and compare yourself to others and say, oh, look at their wonderful life, and oh, I'll never have that. No, you got to be gentle. You are where you are, and just remember you are being supported by the universe, by the divine, whatever you believe in. So now I think it's a good time to go into what you do personally, if you want to go ahead and talk about your services, what you do here in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and also New York. Okay, great.
So I have a private practice right now, and I see folks at Turning Point Healing Arts Center in Ridgefield, which is a really beautiful space.
It is, yes.
And I also teach some classes there periodically, and also I have my seasonal drum and healing circles, like for the equinoxes and solstices.
I love that. Wonderful.
Because I really love to honor the seasons, and it helps to feel more connected, especially when we have all these crazy weather patterns and trying not to get depressed as things approach winter and and what's going on in the cosmos, and just helping us to feel more harmonious.
Great. Do you do that outside or mostly indoors at your center?
Yeah, mostly indoors at the center.
Okay.
And in my private practice, I see people for healing sessions where I really integrate what I've learned. So energy healing, Reiki, angelic healing, which I love working with, and also shamanic healing, bringing in the spiritual component. And then the Andean practices, are really, based on all of that too. Maybe working with some stones, some sound, working with the tools that way. It's whatever the client needs. It's really whatever is for their highest good. I do a lot of praying because what I've learned is the more help, the better.
Yes, absolutely.
And we don't have to do this all on our own.
No, we
But
don't.
it's really about the client's spiritual connection. Shamanism and contemporary shamanism is not a religion.
Yes,
so it's really engaging with, spirit guides and ancestors and angels and power animals that are there to support the client. And if I can help them make that connection, then they can feel more empowered.
Yes,
So my work kind of focuses on empowering people and helping them to heal themselves. So I also educate and teach people in my healing sessions what tools they can use to heal themselves. And also I make referrals to a lot of other modalities because, like I said, I really believe in the integrative, holistic approach.
Wonderful. I agree.
And then I'm also very, very honored to teach at WestCon as an adjunct professor.
That's fabulous.
In their health promotion and exercise science department. And that I really feel like...
students. Wish I had that in college.
It's amazing. I mean, it's really, truly amazing that holistic health, and there is a holistic health component to the health promotion degree now. So students, and it's also been approved as a minor. So even students who are getting other degrees can get a minor in holistic health.
That's fabulous.
And there's a lot of different classes. I happen to teach mind body healing and cross-cultural healing, which talks about a lot of the roots of healing back to the shamanic and animistic traditions of all of our ancestors.
So interesting. Fabulous.
And then I have my own shamanic training program, which is sponsored by the Institute of Holistic Health Studies at WestCon.
Okay.
And so our classes are held there on the campus, downtown Danbury. And it's a 13-month program in foundational core shamanism and Andean energy medicine.
Fabulous.
Practices that people can learn to use right away for their own self-healing. And then the one requirement for the class is to be a Reiki level 2 practitioner, because I want folks to have a foundation in energy healing, and I really believe so much in Reiki, and I think it's really important and very holistic. So
Wonderful. So you are creating healers, and you are creating other teachers and people, encouraging people to heal themselves. I think that's beautiful.
Well, one really cool thing that, kind of came full circle with my story, and it really brings tears to my eyes every time I think about it and every time I'm on campus at WestCon, is that the building I teach in, Berkshire Hall, is directly in front of Danbury Hospital.
Oh.
So, it's like all these things, you look at your life and you think, how does this make sense? And then things come full circle and you're like, oh boy. With that whole discussion we had about the wounded healer and Chiron, and Chiron being the humble teacher of great heroes. He was the teacher of Achilles and Hercules and all of that, and that my destiny was to really do something similar, that I would be a humble teacher of great heroes. So when I was asked to teach at WestCon, and then I ended up teaching in the building directly in front of the hospital where I laid in the bed 20 years ago, thinking, I've had these miracles happen, and I believe I'm supposed to help other people heal themselves. And then I'm brought in directly across the street to teach young people, my great heroes.
Yes. What a beautiful story. I mean, I can't stop smiling.
You can't make this up.
But you can. That's amazing. I think you should write a book.
Yeah. That's been on the back burner for about 15 years.
Okay. Everyone, let's encourage Deana to write a book. I think everybody should read
this.
And
I was an English major, so go figure, right? I got to get off my butt and get that going.
Okay. But you're doing a lot of great things, so not necessarily off your butt, just the next journey, the next stage.
I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. So, again, thank you, Deana, for being on, and for everyone who's watching, thank you for watching us live. Thank you for watching the replay if you're watching us later. A little bit about myself and my services. Again, I'm Christy Rich, and I'm the founder of the Dancing Curtain, and I am similar to Deana, also Reiki practitioner, also love shamanism, do a Reiki shamanism blend. I love to help people with chronic illnesses, aches and pains, those who've tried everything to no avail until they have come to me. I'm also very intuitive and clairvoyant and a little bit clairaudient, so I can give you messages afterwards to inspire you, to empower you, and also tips and tools in the alternative health and wellness arena.
I think I want to sign up for a session.
Oh, you should.
We'll do that afterwards.
Okay, we should. Let's do a trade. So yes, that's a little bit about me. I'm also a spiritual teacher. I'm here to inspire you, to spread joy. I can teach you meditation, take you on a guided visualization, and so much more. So if you're here in Ridgefield, Connecticut, I'd love to meet you in person. You can come to my home sanctuary and have a session. You can come and see me at Medicinal Skin, a spa on Main Street in town. And also I do distant healing. So if you live far away, we can still get you feeling good, mind, body, and spirit. And yeah, you can still get that intuitive reading as well. That always comes with a session. So if anybody would like to contact me, my website is www.thedancingcurtain.com. You can schedule a free discovery call if you'd like to learn more about my services. Just go to the Work With Me page. Again, that's www.thedancingcurtain.com. You can like my page, The Dancing Curtain. I would love to have you be on my page. And also join or subscribe to my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel is Dancing Curtain, just Dancing Curtain. And I have this series on so you can watch more of spiritual conversations. And I also have the Confident Inspirational Women Across the Globe video series. But this kind of fit into both categories, so you're lucky to catch us today. Oh, yes, they agreed. Oh, let's see the lights flickering. All right.
Visitor.
I like that. Wonderful. Okay, so did you give your social media?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. So my website is called embodythesacred.net. Gee, I should remember.
.net. Okay.
And I was a web designer. So it's embodythesacred.net. So EMBODY. So embody. And my Facebook page is the same, Embody the Sacred. And you can also find me under Deana Paqua.
Okay, fabulous. Okay, everyone. Well,
thank you.
Thank you, Deana, for being here. This was a very fun interview, and if you enjoyed watching us, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up, give us some hearts, and please share. This was very inspirational.
Share.
So, you know, anybody who needs some inspiration, anybody who's going through a hard time, anybody who's going through a chronic illness or some trauma, or just needs to hear about some healers, please share this video. So
never give up.
Never give up.
Ever give up.
Never give up. Yes. Also, I was sick for 15 years, and that's what kept me going. I said, I am not supposed to be sick for the rest of my life. I have a higher, bigger purpose, so never give up, everyone. You are destined to greatness. Okay, so thanks for watching us live and on the replay, and have a great day, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.